Ooh, there we go. That's a better one. That is on. That's a better fish. Good evening, and welcome back to Frugal Outdoors with myself, Dylan. Check it out, man. Look where we're fishing today. Probably the most remote and wildest place on the whole of the Isle of Wight. We're going to be fishing down there, down at Blackgang. I'm fishing with somebody else today, so hopefully he won't be too long. And then we've got the long trek down. It's an absolutely stunning venue. I've only fished it a couple of times in the past, but it is absolutely beautiful down there. So hopefully it will still be daylight and I can get some footage. So the next time you see us, we'll be right down on the bottom of the beach. But there we go, we're down to the bottom. Not too bad really, a little bit of heavy breathing, but we are down. So we're just gonna walk along the beach a little bit just to get to our desired mark. With any luck, we can get ourselves into a nice big fish tonight. This is big fish country. Oh, there we go. We only walked maybe, I don't know, 100 or so yards. So I'm down with Nobby of Slamfish, and yeah, fingers crossed we can get ourselves into a couple of fish this evening. No idea what the reports are like for down here, so we thought, what the heck, let's give it a go. So we've just missed high tide, so it is a full ebbing tide tonight. Now this venue, Blackgang, I've only fished it twice I think before, is pretty much an out and out high tide down venue. But from what I can remember, it's quite an odd one because the tide pretty much always goes right to left, whether it's coming in or whether it's going out. So it is quite a funny one to fish. Can be quite snaggy, which is why a lot of people don't bother fishing it. And obviously it's a little bit of a mission to get down here. So we are currently on the beach by ourselves. I'm fishing with both of my Dinosaur rods tonight. They're both 13'6". One's a Tournament Pro Surf and the other one is an Air Surf. They're both rated 4 to 8 ounce, and I've got them both paired up with some fixed ball reels. These are Shimano Power Aeros. Any fixed ball reel will do. I always use a fixed ball reel. People often ask, when am I going to fish with a proper reel? And the answer is never. Such a nice place to sit and fish. Really does feel super wild down here. If you're into fossils or anything, then this is the place to go. Loads of fossils, and some of the best fossils on the island have been found all the way along this stretch, all the way over to Chale. We're pretty much, give or take, we're facing directly south now, so we're facing straight out into the English Channel, and then quite a few miles that way is France. Bait this evening, so I'm covered down with some mackerel, all from Kraken sea baits, some squid, and I've also got some partially defrosted anchovies. So the idea is really today, Nobby is going to be fishing with one rod. He's going to be fishing one rod and quite big. I'm going to be fishing with two rods. With my left hand side, I'm going to fish pretty big. I've got some big rigs to go out on that. I've got some 6.0s, some 5.0s, and they're on a braided little bit of hook length Basically a little bit of bite protection there. If we do get into a big conger, a bull huss, anything along those lines that's got some nice sharp teeth, then hopefully it means it won't bite through my hook snood. And then on the right hand side, I'm going to sort of mix it up. We're going to try and get some fresh pouting, because obviously if we're going to be fishing for some big congers, then fresh pouting would really be the best bait that we could use. But I'm also going to alternate that. I've got some dongle rigs and I've got some pulley rigs, just with some 3.0s and 4.0s. So slightly smaller, but we'll still be fishing with some bigger baits. So tonight is very much a bigger bait session, and see if we can't get something scary on the beach. So with all that being said, first rig I am going to put out is a big rig. I'm going to stick it out on a 7-ounce gripper. We'll chuck a nice big bait out there, and I can leave that out there to soak for at least half an hour, just see how it gets on. So on this rig I've got 100-pound rig body. I have actually got a splashdown on this because it is a big bait I'm going to be putting out, and if I use a nip it's just not going to stay clipped. So I've got a splashdown on that end, and then on this end I've got some more 100-pound mono, and then as you can see there, if you can see that in the light, nice bit of green, that's 300-pound braid, and then we've got a 5.0 wide gape hook and a 6.0 circle hook. We chuck a nice big mackerel bait out on there. This is still very, very frozen. I don't often use a knife for stuff. Can pretty much get away with all of it, and I probably still could get away with using the scissors on this as well, but this time I am just gonna use the knife to take this fillet off, because like I said, it's very frozen. Chuck the head over there, cut that cone end straight down the middle, and we've got 2 nice big baits. I'm really excited about getting a bait out tonight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a little bit more off of that. Just warm it up a tiny little bit in our hands and just try and make that to a little bit more of a cylinder rather than just a big flat piece of mackerel. We'll whack a load of elastic around this. We'll stick our hooks in it and we're just going to get it straight out. Nice big 5.0. I say big 5.0. I mean, for me, using 5.0s and 6.0s, they're big hooks. I know a lot of people, then they're fishing for congers and even rays, bass and such, you know, 6.0s, 7.0s, 8.0s, but I'd like to catch a fish. So we've gone with a happy medium, and there we are. Let's whack that out, and then we'll bait the other one up. And there we go, there it is, all clipped up. Let's chuck this one out, and then we'll sort the other one, and then we're fishing. Got quite a nice bank in front of me here. Ooh, that was nice. Felt it hit the bottom, so I know I'm fishing in some depth. There we go, I've just loosened off the drag. And we'll see how we get on. Next rig I'm going to pop out is just one of my normal pulley pennels, a 3.0. Same deal, I'm going to stick that one on a 7-ounce gripper. This one is on an imp because I'm not going to be fishing massive baits, and this time I'm going to use a whole anchovy. I'm going to strap a piece of squid up the side of it. See if we can't pick something out with that. Take the tail off, chop the head off, so we got a nice reasonable sized bait. And you know the score. A little bit of squid about the same size. Whack that on the bait tool, and then we'll bind them both together. Just pop our 3.0 J hook in the bottom, put our 3.0 circle, pull the line through, because we've got a nice little bit of elastic on the top there, and that one is also ready to go out. Don't forget, you can get all of the rigs that I'm using this evening, apart from this big one, from www.frugal.od.co.uk. There we are, all clipped up, ready to go. I'm going to walk up a little bit with this one. I really don't want these lines coming together at all. And there we are, we're fishing. Right, let's get a head torch on. Settle down, we've got 2 baits out there now. We'll get a 3rd rig ready. Maybe just a little scratch and rig, a bream rig or something. See if we can search around for some nice fresh pouting. And then yeah, see if we can't get something. Oh, I'm buzzing. I want to say thank you to everyone as well. I don't know, I said it in the last video, but we've had some really good support with the comp. And we had sold out, but we've had 1 cancellation. So there is 1 entry available left, and that'll be 40 pegs sold. So yeah, it should be good fun. So if you do want to grab that last sign on, then please do go and check out the website, because you'll find the ticket on there. Just had a little pull down on the right hand rod. Oh, there we go. That's a better one. Look, that's the left hand rod this time. That's gone slack. Well, we got something on straight away. It's on the really big bait and the big hooks, but it certainly doesn't feel like a big fish. I think we might have ourselves a little strap conger eel. But I think it even might have come off, which doesn't surprise me. There were massive hooks. Yeah, probably a little bit eager then, but like I say, it didn't feel very heavy at all. I'm gonna whack that straight back out. Species tonight, we definitely got a chance of a conger eel, because this is like a big conger venue really. Also got a chance of a ray, a bull huss, a decent sized bull huss. Could be a few bass around as well. But yeah, let's get this back out, because I missed that one. I have a feeling I probably reeled in a bit too soon. But that is a good sign. We've got a bream rig hanging from the tripod there. We'll chuck that out in a sec. See if we can't get a bit of fresh pouting to use as well. I think if I get 1 pouting, I'll probably be done. I mean, I have got quite a bit of frozen bait, so we should be okay. Definitely something having a go at that then. Well, that's good. We've had bites on both rods. Definitely enough to keep the interest going so early on in the session. Still on the first cast. We'll chuck out a couple of small baits, see if we can pick up a pouting. I'm only going to cast this about 40 yards, if that. Just drop it in close. Oh, that's a better bite though. That was a much better bite on that one. Well, we're getting plenty of bites.
Got him?
Yeah. Oh, I'm in the rough. Oh no. Oh, mate. Oh, it swam out. Huh? It swam out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, that was the result. I got snagged up. Had a nice bite and got snagged up. I just left it, and whatever it was swam out. So we've got something. It's not massive, but it's a fish. No. It's a pout. It's a pout on a 5.0. So whether or not it was that took me into the snag, I don't think so, because it was a pretty decent bite. But we've got a pouting. It was on a 5.0, but we've got some bait. Well, I really don't think that pouting did all that damage to that big bait. It may well have, but I don't think so. I think I had something else on that maybe took me into a snag. it came off. And then I caught a pouting that got me out of the snag. That's what I'm going to go with anyway. But it's good, it's busy. Busy enough that we're getting the bites anyway. As long as we're getting bites, then we're happy. Got to be on now. Let's get this one out and then we'll have a look. Oh. Well, this one is in real close. Only the little scratching rig, but we picked up a fish on it, which is nice. What we got? Probably a little conger eel, I think. Oh, pouting and a conger eel. There we go. Not a bad sized pouting actually. A very, very tiny strap conger eel. Let's get these off. Get the conger eel away. We'll keep hold of the pouting. And then we'll get some nice fresh bait out there. Yeah, that wind is right in our faces now. But we're getting into a couple of fish, all small so far. I've got two nice big baits out there now. And I think pretty much I'll be fishing with the big baits now for the rest of the night. Some in close, some out of distance, different rigs. We'll just mix it up and see if we can't catch something. I've only just put this out. What? Wasn't on. There we go, look at that beauty. Half a mackerel, head end obviously. We'll chuck that out in a bit. So a really nice bite on the right hand side. I just lifted it up, just lifted into it and there was nothing there. I think I'm being a little bit too keen tonight on my strike, and I need to let them develop into something else. Bit too keen. Well, we've had a bit of success of late on the old bass, so I'm going to put out a bass rig, a running bass rig. I've got 4 O's in this one. It's that pouting head on. I'm just going to flick it in close. I'm going to walk up a little bit, flick it in, and see how we get on. We're definitely getting lots of bites. Not hooking as many fish as I should be, really. Just missed another one. I don't know if it's small conger eels. Could be still just pouting, having a go at it, because they're quite big baits and biggish hooks. But we'll carry on anyway, as we are. But like I say, I'm going to flick this one out. There we are, as we speak. keep getting the bites. There we go, look. Let's get this out. Hopefully we don't get a conger on that bass bait, because if we do, we're going to be in trouble, because it's only on 25-pound line. But this one is nodding away quite nicely. Big hook, so whether there's anything on there is a different story altogether. But yeah, this is fun. It's an amazing place. It's such a shame it's so dark. Obviously you can't pick anything up on camera, but it's an amazing place to fish. Very, very wild and very, very cool. Got something playing with this bass bait again. Just ever so small sort of knocks. I think it could be a conger. It's only on a little 2-ounce lead. Just rolling around out there. Let's have a little change up, I think. There we are. There's the culprit. Little conger eel. Not the first one tonight, and I'm sure it's probably not going to be the last. There we go. Nice fresh bit of pouting fillet. Couple of 3/0s. Let's get this one out, and then I'll probably change that one as well. Freshen both baits up. I don't want to take this too soon, but we're getting a nice bite on the right hand side. I mean, it could just be another strap conger eel, but it's a bite, and we do like bites. I'm not one for sitting down all evening. There we go. Looking for that one bite, it just doesn't interest me at all. Well, we've got it, and again, it's not very big. I think it's exactly what we thought it was. Yeah, tiny little strap conger again. Well, we've had a little bit of a quiet spell. Probably haven't had a bite for maybe half an hour. Got fresh baits out there, well, fresh-ish anyway. The pout head now, I've switched them round onto the left. So the bass bait is now in the dark, basically, because my light is sort of shining that way. So I've cast it to my left because the tide is running right to left as well. So it sort of swung it in, and it's finding its own little place a lot better than it was on the right-hand side. But yeah, it's not having a sniff at the moment. So I am going to have a little change up, I think. We've got mackerel and squid wrap on this right-hand side. I think I'm going to bring that in. I've got an anchovy and squid wrap there, and I'm just going to punch that one out. I mean, I am going through the bait quite quickly because I'm using bigger baits as well. I'm going through the mackerel and the pouting really quite quick, but I think I'm going to be all right for a bit. If I do start to get short, then obviously I'll stick the bream rig out again and try and pick up another pouting. But I think we'll just freshen both these up. I'm going to cast them both straight out in front of me again and see if we can't find ourselves a bite. Oh, there we go. It's a bit better. Another layer. Yeah, that wind is actually really quite cold tonight. The last few sessions I've managed to stick it out. Stick it out in a hoodie, but yeah, not tonight. Well, I've got those fresh baits out there, both of them. Just hit them out as hard as I could. Had a bite on the right-hand one pretty much straight away. Then literally just like one knock and then that's it. And that's happened a few times tonight. Get one decent bump and then that's it, nothing else. But that sort of feeding frenzy that must have been just after the sun went down has eased right off now. And I haven't put the bream rig out, so potentially there's still some pouting out there, but it's gone very, very quiet. Oh, there we go. That's a better one. That is on. That's a better fish. God, I literally just said about it being quiet. God, that's going way over that way. Stay away from my other line. What have we got? Oh, yes, mate. Said there'd be a bass out there tonight, didn't I?
That's a slab. Yeah, what up, brother? You do, wouldn't he? Get some fish cakes out of that one, mate.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome. He got to be £2, didn't he?
£2. There we go. Another bass. Awesome. I've had quite a few of these little puppies recently. Well, I'm made up with that. Can't believe I literally just said about not having a bite for a little while, and then the rod just started bouncing. And we got a nice bass there. It's got to be, I don't know, maybe £3, I guess, something like that, I would have thought. But yeah, chuffed to bits with that. Brilliant. Oh, how about that? Yeah, Nobby just weighed it for me because I haven't got any scales. I didn't bring them down. It's too far to bring unnecessary things like scales with me tonight. And yeah, it's £3.13. So yeah, that's not a bad bass at all. And that's what it took. It took the big rig basically that's out there for a conger eel or a bull huss or something like that. You can see there the bit of braid, and then the on the 5.0 J hook on the bottom, fresh pouting, perfect. We'll take that all day long, won't we? Well, we definitely thought there was a chance of picking up a bass down here tonight. And I spoke to my buddy Nick as well, and he said, you know, it's a really good place to come for a bass. It's so funny, isn't it? I've had a bass in close a couple of times this evening, and nothing at all apart from strap congers. And a punch one out of distance, and lo and behold, we get a nice bass, just under £4. Probably halfway through the tide, I suppose, maybe a little bit more. The reason why they say this is a sort of high down venue is purely because when the tide is flooding, it just comes through here so hard. It's really, really difficult to hold bottom. So we've basically got here pretty much bang on high, and then we're fishing it all the way down. Well, nearly all the way down. We're going to knock it on the head shortly. Give it another hour. That bass I had was at distance, mate. You don't have to fish in close. Right, let's have a look at this one. It's gone quite a few times, but whatever it is either very small or it's just not on. And I think it's on, which means it's really small. It makes me think it's probably another little conger eel to add to the tally tonight. Oh my God. It's a pouting. It's a pouting on a 5.0 again. Scratch that. It's a pouting on a 6.0 circle hook, perfectly hooked. Yeah, double anchovy and a whole squid. Nothing left on that bait at all. And then we got a little 5-ounce pouting. Right, we're going with fresh baits again. Stick two nice big baits out there. Might have time to bait this rig one more time, and then I think that's going to be me done. Probably going to be leaving at the best time, but it's such a long walk back up that I just want to make sure I get home at a reasonable time. I think we've maybe got 5 or 10 minutes left, so I'm going to quickly chuck a fresh one out, and then I'm going to pack one of the rods away, and then that's going to be us for the night. There we go. That is my last cast of the evening. It's half a launch that Nobby kindly donated to the cause. Let's chuck this out, and then I'll bring that one in and pack it down, I think. So I've had my rods very high tonight. I don't normally have them this high. But for some reason tonight, I have. Well, I've chucked that one out for probably another 10 or 15 minutes, I suppose, and it has not moved. So we're going to bring it in, pack it down. Nobby's only got one rod to pack down anyway. And then we're going to bimble on up up the big hill, the cliff, whatever you want to call it, but it's a long old walk back up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, it wasn't, we came down hoping to try and get the monsters from the land of the dinosaurs, but yeah, it just did not happen tonight, unfortunately. But we did get a lovely keeper bass, so I'm going to carry that one up as well with me. If you've made it this far and you haven't already subscribed, then please do think about it. And yeah, until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and maybe I'll see you out there. Cheers. There we go. Not too bad, really.
Huh?
A little bit heavy breathing, but yeah, we're down. So, you know, I'm talking to the camera.
Oh, for sake. Oh.
Right, do that again.
That's ever so bright.
I've done all right on the old bass recently. I mean, that one was a very fluky one. It's not like I was trying for it out there.
Out there, you're so cute.
Oh, such a dick.